Right. Very good morning, all of you. Today we will discuss single phase semi-controlled converter fed DC series motor. In the previous classes, we have discussed separately excited DC motor fed with a single phase semi-controlled converter as well as single phase full controlled converter. Now today's class, we will discuss single phase semi-controlled converter fed DC series motor. So see this figure clearly represents the circuit diagram of single phase semi-controlled converter. See this circuit diagram, see here, it is a single phase semi-controlled converter. Two thyristors T1 and T2 and two diodes D1 and D2 and a freewheeling diode DFW, and here see at the load terminals a motor is connected with the internal resistance of RA plus RF. RA is the armature resistance, RF means field resistance. So in the series motor, we know that the series resistance as well as the armature resistance both are connected in series. So in series, the resistances will be added. So it can be simply termed as RA plus RF, or you can simply write capital R. Instead of writing RA plus RF, you can also write R, capital R. R is nothing but RA plus RF. Okay, and the field inductor LF here, and here the armature or the internal circuit diagram of the motor, which is represented by the EB. Okay, so this is the construction of the single phase semi-controlled fed DC series motor. So the major difference here is we will have an extra resistance here, field resistance, because this is series motor. The major difference between the separately excited motor and the series motor is both armature winding as well as the series winding, both are connected, field winding, both are connected in series. So both are connected in series. So that is the reason why here the two resistances are added. And you can observe here there is no external circuit. In the case of excited DC motor, we will find a separate external circuit, which is a field circuit operated with a separate source. But here there is no extra circuit because the field is included in series with the armature. Okay, right. And the operation is same as we have seen for the separately excited DC motor. The semi-controlled operation is same. Here we are having three modes of operation. And in order to operate the semi-controlled converter, we are choosing continuous current conduction mode. So this converter is operating in continuous current conduction mode. So the current is always continuous, not discontinuous. So that is the mandatory criteria here. So in the previous case also, we have seen the operation for continuous conduction mode only. Because in our syllabus, it is clearly mentioned that we have to operate this converter in continuous conduction mode. Okay. So coming to the continuous conduction mode, we have three operating modes. First operating mode is from alpha to pi. I'll show you. See, alpha to pi is the first mode of operation. Second mode of operation from pi to pi plus alpha. Only this short duration. Pi to pi plus alpha, and third mode operation is from pi plus alpha to 2 pi. So these are the three different modes. As already we have seen in the concept of single phase semi-controlled fed separately DC motor, almost the similar operation will be held here. Mode 1 is pi to alpha, mode 2 is pi to pi plus alpha, and mode 3 is pi plus alpha to 2 pi. Three modes. Okay. So coming to mode 1, in the mode 1, the thyristor T1 will be triggered, which means at alpha thyristor T1 will be triggered. So the current direction will be from this phase terminal to T1 to the resistors RA plus RF to the inductor, and through the motor, it will flow through the diode D1 and comes back to the neutral terminal. So this is the current direction for mode 1 operation. Mode 1 means from alpha to pi. So from pi to alpha to pi, the thyristor T1 will be triggered. So the current direction will be from phase to T1, T1 to the motor resistances, motor inductance, and motor back EMF through diode D1 to the neutral terminal. Okay, so this is the current direction for mode 1. Similarly, if you want to plot the current direction for mode 2, the mode 2 will be pi to pi plus alpha. Pi to pi plus alpha. See in this figure, pi to pi plus alpha. At pi, the input comes to 0 here. The input comes to 0 and the output voltage follows the input voltage. See, this is the output voltage of the converter or the average voltage of the converter waveform. So at pi, the output voltage reaches to 0. And from pi to pi plus alpha, the freewheeling diode DFW, this freewheeling diode comes into the picture. So this freewheeling diode will be in forward bias in pi to pi plus alpha region. So when this diode is conducting, it means the current direction, the load current will be shorted through this freewheeling diode. So this will be the current direction. Okay, so the load current flows through the resistor and the field winding of the motor and through the motor and to the freewheeling diode. So this freewheeling diode shorts the motor terminals for a while, and the duration will be from pi to pi plus alpha. Okay, so during this region, the freewheeling diode shorts the motor terminals. Okay, now third mode will start at pi plus alpha. At this point, the third mode will be started. Means at this point, thyristor T2 will be triggered, which means this one. This thyristor will be triggered, and the current direction will be from neutral to thyristor T2, thyristor T2 to motor resistance and motor windings, and through the back EMF of the motor and through the diode D2, and goes back to phase terminal. So this will be the current direction from neutral to T2, T2 to resistance to the inductance, and then motor to diode D2 to phase terminal. This will be the the current direction. However, you can observe in all three modes, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, in all the three modes, the current entering point will be here. In all the three modes, at this point only the current is entering into the motor. So the current is unidirection, or we can say the current will be, or the semi-controlled converter is a unidirection controller or converter. So the current entering into the motor will be at the same point for all the three modes. For all the three modes, the point will be the same. So at this point only, the current enters in all the three modes. Okay, and the waveforms for the respective mode 1, mode 2, and mode 3 operations are shown here. So in the first mode, the voltage is same as the input voltage. So the average voltage curve follows or imitates the sinusoidal input voltage. So this is in sinusoidal shape. And from second mode, which is pi to pi plus alpha, in this duration, the freewheeling diode shorts. The freewheeling diode shorts the motor terminal. So the motor across the motor the voltage will be zero, because in the short circuit condition there is no voltage. So the voltage across the motor will be zero. So that is the reason why EA is zero here. You can observe. And again at pi plus alpha point, at this point thyristor T2 is triggered and the output appeared here. Okay, which imitates the sinusoidal signal. Okay, so this is how the output voltage EA of the converter, or the average voltage of the converter waveform will be appeared. And similarly, this is the current, armature current you can say, or the output current of the semi-controlled converter. So this current is in positive direction only one direction. We have seen for mode 1, mode 2 and mode 3. In all the three modes, this current is in the same direction. Okay, so that is shown here. And when the thyristors T1 and T2 are triggered, the current is rising, and after some point the current is falling, and again it is rising, and again it is falling. So this is almost DC current shape with some ripple. So this is the current that is given to the motor. Okay, during this operation the motor average voltage equation can be calculated. So this is the average voltage equation of the single phase semi-controlled converter. See, it is a single phase semi-controlled converter and the operating range is from alpha to pi only. Whereas in full controlled converter, the operating range is alpha to pi plus alpha. In yesterday's class, I have clearly explained this. So the limits will be alpha to pi for semi-controlled converter. So the average equation can be determined with this equation. So the average voltage VA is equal to 1 by pi integral alpha to pi Vm sin omega t dt. Okay, if you simplify this integral part, you will get the average voltage as Vm by pi into 1 plus cos alpha. So this is the average voltage of the converter. This average voltage is going to feed the motor. See, this motor is connected to this converter. So this average voltage is going to feed the motor. Okay, right. If we write the KVL equations for this motor, for the operating range, this will be the average voltage equation of the motor using the KVL. Here I haven't represent the inductor voltage equation, because across the inductor the average voltage will be zero under steady state conditions. Already this point we have discussed many times in the previous classes. So that is the reason why here I haven't represent the inductor voltage term. Okay, so this is the armature voltage equation for the motor, and we know the flux is some constant into flux constant into armature current. Okay, and this is a DC series motor. In DC series motors, we know that the torque is proportional to the flux as well as IA. The torque in DC series motor is directly proportional to the flux, as well as the torque is directly proportional to the armature current, because here the flux and armature both are connected in series. So the torque is directly proportional to the flux, which means if we vary the flux, then automatically torque will be varied. Similarly, if we vary the armature current, then also the torque will be varied, which means we're having 2 points. Torque will be depending upon flux as well as the armature current. So this flux equation can be written as armature current with the constant Kf. Now substitute, we know the torque equation, general torque equation T is equal to some constant K into flux phi and armature current IA. So this is general torque equation. Now in here we have phi a means kf into ia. Substitute this in phi a, you will get the torque equation as this one, kt kf into ia square, which means this torque is directly proportional to the square of armature current. But in the case of separately excited DC motor, torque is directly proportional to the armature current only. But in series motor, the torque is directly proportional to the square of armature current, which means a slight change in armature current will lead to the change in the torque. Okay, this is an important point while dealing with the series motors. So IA is very sensitive. If we change a little bit of IA, then torque will be affected immediately, because the torque is proportional to the square of armature current. Okay, now we got the relations, we got the all relations. Now from these equations we can derive the speed and the torque equation, and this speed and torque equation directly I have written here. You can derive with the previous knowledge, and this will be the speed torque equation of the single phase semi controlled converter fed DC series motor. Here the resistance is RA plus RF. Sorry, this is RA plus RF, because we are having two resistors here, armature resistor as well as a field resistor. So RA plus RF. So in the denominator, it is RA plus RF. So the speed omega or N equal to VA by root of KT KF into 1 by root of T, T means torque, minus RA plus RF by KT into KF. So this is the relation between omega, speed and torque. Now from this equation you can observe that speed is proportional to 1 by root times of torque, 1 by root times of torque, or we can say speed square directly proportional, inversely proportional to the torque. We can say that speed square is inversely proportional to the torque, or speed is directly proportional to 1 by root T. Okay, so this is the relation between speed and torque in DC series motors. Okay, with this relation we can derive, we can draw the speed torque characteristic. So this is the speed torque characteristic here for different alphas, because in this equation we can observe here it is VA. VA means armature voltage. This armature voltage already we have derived here, Vm by pi into 1 plus cos alpha. So at the place of VA we have to substitute this equation. So here alpha is our regulating parameter. So for different values of alpha we will get a different speed torque curves like this. So for alpha is 0, for alpha 30, for alpha 60, for alpha 90, for alpha 120, like this. Okay, because of the squaring relation between speed and torque, the curves looks like parabolic shape. Okay, speed is inversely proportional to root times of torque, or speed square is inversely proportional to torque, which means it is in parabolic shape. However, you know that the DC series motors cannot be started without zero load, or without any load DC motors cannot be started. Why? You can observe here at this instant. I'm sorry. So at this instant means at torque T equal to 0, the speed, you see, the speed is coming from infinity. The speed is coming from infinity here. So at 0 point, the speed is infinity. Now substitute torque 0 here. So 1 by 0 1 by root of 0. Root of 0 will be 0 only. So this term will become 1 by 0. So 1 by 0 is nothing but infinity. Infinity minus anything will be infinity. So when the torque is 0, which means under no load condition, the speed is infinity. So this is the reason why the DC series machines cannot be started without load. Under no load condition, DC series motors cannot be started. With the help of some load, the DC series motor will be started. Okay. If you want to start the DC series motor with torque 0, then you will get infinite speeds. Okay. So this is it about single phase semi controlled converter fed DC series motor. Okay.